Donald Trump just endured the most embarrassing night of his presidency so far. And instead of quietly accepting defeat, he chose to make things even worse for himself. In classic Trump fashion, he jumped onto Truth Social, firing off a series of angry, panicked posts that perfectly captured just how rattled he is after suffering loss after loss across the country. From coast to coast, Democrats handed him a political beating, flipping seats and winning races he thought were safe. We're going to break down those unhinged posts, those crushing defeats, and the major victories for Democrats that made this such a historic night. Trust me, you're going to love every second of it. But before we dive in, please take a moment to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps support what we do here. Now, before we look at Trump's meltdown in detail, we've got to start with one of the biggest highlights of the night, Zoran Mamdani's victory in New York City. A win that AOC celebrated while recognizing the incredible wave of Democratic successes nationwide in this clip right here.
Many people who participated and were brought together by his campaign, because they were not just tasked with defeating a Republican, they were also tasked with defeating the old guard of the Democratic Party that essentially led us to many of the perils of this moment. So he had a two-front war to win, which is what makes his victory so deeply impressive. And I do think that this moment, a lot of people who are willing to talk about party unity when it serves them, but not party unity when it serves everybody, it puts those folks on notice. And I think it also puts folks on notice that we have a future to plan for. We have a future to fight for. And we're either going to do that together or you're going to be left behind. And I think that is not a partisan issue. It's not about progressive. It's not moderate. It's not liberal. This is about, do you understand the assignment of fighting fascism right now? And the assignment is to come together across difference no matter what.
Many Republicans are already trying to downplay the sweeping Democratic victories across the country tonight by insisting that Donald Trump wasn't on the ballot, and therefore this wasn't a referendum on him. You're even hearing that spin on Fox News, where the MAGA media machine is still desperately clinging to the myth of Trump's popularity. Even as every new poll shows him sinking to historic lows. But let's be clear, Donald Trump was on the ballot. His disastrous economic policies were on the ballot. His reckless tariffs were on the ballot. His cruel, illegal ICE raids, those were on the ballot too. And the Democrats who won tonight made it clear that they were running to fight back against that agenda, to stand up to authoritarianism, and to protect our democracy. Voters knew exactly what was at stake. We showed up. We voted against Trumpism. We voted for progress, for decency, and for a vision of the future that extends beyond simply opposing one man. And no one embodied that spirit more than Zoran Mamdani, who delivered an inspiring message tonight. Right before we get into Donald Trump's full-scale meltdown.
Even standing up for those we love. Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. And we will build a city hall that stands steadfast alongside Jewish New Yorkers and does not waver in the fight against the scourge of anti-Semitism. Where the more than 1 million Muslims know that they belong.
That is the aspirational message that Democrats need right now. Donald Trump is going to try to make us scare. Donald Trump is going to try to intimidate us. We actually saw that in the post he made, but it's not going to work because we are bigger than he is. We are more powerful powerful than he is. He is taking losses in court, in the court of public opinion. He is losing support every day from independents, from Republicans, from his own MAGA Republicans in Congress. Donald Trump continues to lose. So he took stock of all of that tonight. He saw where he was at. And again, he took those tiny little fingers of his to Truth Social because he was feeling the pressure. He understands what's happening right now. A movement across the country. And I didn't even talk about Gavin, which I'm going to in a second, but he freaked out on Truth Social and really just revealed it all. Trump made several posts on Truth Social. One saying, pass voter reform, voter ID, no mail-in ballot, save our Supreme Court from packing, no two-state edition, etc. Terminate the filibuster. Republicans, terminate the filibuster, get back to passing legislation and voter reform. Just out, the 60 Minutes interview of Donald J. Trump on CBS Sunday night was the highest-rated 60 Minutes in years. Trump also wrote in quotes, Trump wasn't on the ballot, and shutdown were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight, according to pollsters. Donald Trump is spiraling, coping, seething, and desperately trying to convince himself that things aren't as bad as they are. He's posting on Truth Social bragging about how great his 60 Minutes interview was, as if that somehow makes up for the night's losses. Sure, Donald, maybe a few extra people watched because it aired after a football game with Mahomes and Josh Allen, but that doesn't mean anyone liked you. Trump keeps insisting, oh, I wasn't on the ballot, so it doesn't matter. But yes, Donald, you were on the ballot. And America sent a clear message. We're tired of you. You lost in New Jersey, Virginia, New York, California, Georgia, everywhere. And it's not just Trump's rage that's overflowing tonight, it's what he's now demanding from Republicans. Instead of working with Democrats to end the shutdown, protect health care, or ensure people have access to food assistance, Trump is pushing them to eliminate the filibuster entirely. Why? Because he's panicking. He knows this shutdown is politically poisonous for him, and he wants to rewrite the rules to cling to power. Now he's talking about so-called voter reform, which we all know means voter suppression. Why else would he have sent poll watchers to California today, trying to intimidate voters in a state he's terrified of losing control over? Let's take a look at what those California results actually showed.
House maps, and we can make a projection in California. The polls are closed as of now. And CNN projects the Californians have indeed voted yes on the state's newly drawn congressional district map, aiming to help Democrats win an additional up to 5 U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterm elections in 1 year.
California delivered results immediately, no hesitation at all. And Governor Gavin Newsom wasted zero time making it clear exactly how his state feels about the current White House and how he intends to push back against any authoritarian nonsense. Tonight wasn't only about responding to Trump or Abbott. It was about building momentum for 2026, laying the foundation so Democrats enter the midterms with strength and confidence. This was a complete political beatdown, a message sent loud and clear. California set the tone. Newsom made the case that Democrats are ready not just to resist harmful policies, but to create a positive vision for the future. Meanwhile, Trump is already screaming about voter reform, which is just code for rigging the rules and suppressing votes. He even tried to meddle in California by fear-mongering about election integrity and sending watchers to intimidate voters. One of his allies even claimed there was mass fraud in California, but there was zero fraud. The only deception happening is coming from the top of Trump's administration. Tonight showed exactly who the real loser is. Trump can rant online. He can pretend he wasn't on the ballot. He can try to protect his ego, but voters know the truth. The country rejected his chaos, his cruelty, his failures. And Democrats aren't just focused on defeating him. We're focused on what comes after him. We're building something better, something future-focused, something that finally pushes Trumpism into the history books. No one has articulated that hopeful vision more powerfully than the big winner of the night, Zohran Mamdani. Let's listen to him again, because he captures what this movement is all about.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
This is exactly the kind of leadership the Democratic Party needs right now. Bold, genuine, and forward-looking. This is the new energy our movement has been waiting for. And we've got it. Zohran Mamdani is on track to become the next mayor of New York City. Earlier this year, around February or March, I had the chance to sit down with Zohran for an interview. It turned out to be one of the most inspiring conversations I've ever had in my time covering politics. Before that interview, I told my producer and videographer Caleb that I wanted to grab ice cream with him. Caleb asked why, and I said, because someday soon, he's going to be mayor, and I want to be able to say I had ice cream with the mayor of New York City. And now, I can say exactly that. I had ice cream with the man who's going to take on Donald Trump's agenda, who's going to fight for a fairer, more affordable, and more dignified future for every one of us. We crushed it tonight. I'm proud of every single one of you. Let's keep this momentum going. If you want to support the show, make sure to hit subscribe, leave a like, and if you made it this far, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.